Morning, Bill.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good.
Nice to get a win.
Always
good.
Always good to win.
Your 300th win. I know you said you'll talk about that later. When are you going to talk about that?
Yeah, right now. We're focused on Miami right now, so
Focused on
we'll
Miami.
deal with that later.
Focused on Miami. We've been having a little discussion back and forth here, as we always do, about Mac Jones. Thought Mac Scheim refuses to say. He said he had a good game. He started off fine, then he said good. What did you see from Mac yesterday?
Yeah, well, I'd just say offensively, one of our better performances. Had some consistency, moved the ball, scored some points. So those are all good things. Mac's a big part of that.
Bill, when you look at what you were able to do defensively, I mean, I thought guys did a great job all day long, especially when you start the game off with turnover, which defensively you guys were able to do. What's that like for the morale of the team when you're able to play like the way you guys are playing, especially starting off early like that?
Yeah, well, turnover is big. First play is turnover, last play is turnover,
right.
So those are good things. But they're tough. I mean, obviously, a great quarterback, hard to tackle, and big arm and all that. So, you just try to limit the damage that he does. There's going to be some, but you try to limit it. And I thought we went out there and competed well.
Bill, the O-line had the best game of the season so far. You look at what they made it look like. They made it look easy for Mac Jones. They made it look easy for Zeke and Ramondre. What clicked in this game for them? What do you think was the difference maker for this game?
All right. I don't think it was easy. It's never easy.
Right.
So, yeah, again, it's a team offense. There were some good things with the offensive line. Our receivers, backs did a good job running with the ball. Mac made some good plays. Tight ends made a couple big catches. So, a lot of contributions from different areas. I don't think it was just one guy or one thing, but, overall complimentary football, offense, defense, special teams. It was just, a better all-around game from everybody. That's what we need.
23 seconds left in that game. Mac came over and talked to you. What did you say to him?
We were just talking about the situation. No timeouts and tie score and how we want to play it. It's really pretty straightforward. Just turned out well.
Bill, when you look at that situation, it's interesting to see if you kind of go back on that last kind of series before Gesicki catches the game winner. The play before that, you run the same exact play with Pop Douglas from the slot, and then the next play looks like it's the same route where it was like an inside kind of option route slant that both of the guys ran. Was there something that you guys saw that led you to just change up the personnel group to almost run the identical pass play, which worked out for Gesicki from maybe something you noticed the play before with Pop Douglas?
Yeah, well, it was a different personnel group, and on Pop's play, that was ended up being a 7-man protection. They blitzed, and then on the last play, we substituted, and we had 4 players out in the route instead of 3. So it was a little bit different, but yeah, the idea was throw the ball up there, high to Mike, and Mike's made that catch in practice. A lot. It was a good throw, good catch, and big time to hit it. So.
Gesicki gave a lot of credit to Mac after the game and said that the feedback from fans, from media personnel have been unfair, their criticism of Mac at the beginning of the season. Do you fall in that same category, thinking that it's been unfair treatment towards Mac, or is that just part of the territory when you're a quarterback of an NFL team?
Yeah. I don't know. I think we all just go out there and try to do the best we can. Whatever it is.
Did you notice anything like early kind of I know they talked about, on the broadcast, they talked about Sean McDermott taking over as the play call, a little bit more aggressive. Is that something that you guys knew going into this, like with him calling plays, they're going to be a lot more aggressive, so get the ball out quickly, make sure the protection's right? Is that something that offensively that you guys were on the page of, we have to be aware of this because he likes to be a little bit more aggressive, and he showed that at times throughout this game?
Yeah, but that's kind of what they do. I think when you look at the game, they have a good variety of calls, and they pick the ones they want to run in each game. I think once you get into the game, you see they have more of there are more of these calls than some other ones on that particular game, and so our game declared pretty early. And yeah, they brought the safety down to mostly Poyer, to stop the run, blitz them off the edge. That got us a couple times. We got them a couple times. So that's kind of what they do.
Right.
Yeah, they mix it up. I mean, you can't count on it, but it's one of the safeties do a good job disguising Hyde and Poyer and Johnson too, because he's really part of it. And so they gave us one look that was a little bit different. It was still a 3 deep zone. They just played it a little bit differently, but that's kind of what they do. They have a good package. They disguise. They mix it up, and so. A lot of times, most of the time, you don't really know what they're until after the ball snaps. They don't give it away early, and that's why they're good.
Post game, you described that missed Buffalo field goal as looking like one of your 5-irons. Are you better off the tee or a short game guy or?
Well, I think that was just a look at what it was like out there yesterday. It wasn't an easy day to kick, and the ball started going a little right, and then it just kind of went quickly to the right. So. Yeah, it was just a hard day to kick. The crosswind was blowing from our bench to their bench and a little bit down the field, but mostly across. But on the longer field goals, you just have to, figure out how much to play it. And, it's going to move. Just how much is it going to move and when is it going to move? And, it was hard kicking.
There was a report.
Are you a hot dog at the turn kind of guy?
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Never pass up a good hot dog. On it.
There was a report in the last home game that said that you had noted that the wind shift, the lighthouse had changed the wind dynamic. Is that true? Has the stadium been made into a different environment wind-wise, given the new addition in the back of the end zone?
Yeah. No, we saw that last year as it was being built. It changed from week to week, but yeah, it changed during the course of the season last year.
Diesel direct player of the game is Pop Douglas. A little bit about what he brought yesterday.
Yeah, I thought the punt return was a really good run. Kind of got us started, gave us good field position there after we had stopped them defensively, got the ball back, and had a couple good catch and runs. I thought the catch he made down the goal line at the end of the game was a really good catch. It was a tough play to make. He extended, made a good catch. So yeah, nice game for him.
Bill, when you look at what you've done to what you did to Steph Diggs in this game, I think you could see the frustration in him early. So when you're going into this game plan with you, Steve, and Gerard, what's kind of the overall scheme? Is it like, all right, we're going in, we're going to try to take away Steph Diggs, not allow him to get going, and try to make other players beat us in other areas, or is it, are we showing them a little bit of something? One way where it thinks, oh, we're taking them away, but then we're kind of rolling coverage. Just kind of give me a little window into what your plan was heading into this, because I felt like you guys did a good job, especially early in the game with Diggs.
Yeah, well, I think what you said that's kind of it. Look, they have a lot of great players and a good quarterback and multiple good receivers and tight ends and good running backs. So. But Diggs is, clearly the number one problem, second most targeted player in the league. So, yeah, there were times where we took him away. There were other times where we tried to make it look like we were taking him away, but we really weren't, hoping that we could kind of discourage the quarterback from throwing over there and then try to get the coverage, somewhere else and tighten it up there. Just mix up some man, mix up some zone, and try to make it as difficult as possible for him to get cleanly into the release and into his route. So those guys did a good job on him, but ultimately he got a couple on us, and he's a great player.
Bill, Mike Vrabel and Dante Scarnecchia inducted into the Patriots Hall of Fame on Saturday. I know you had a lot to say about both of those guys. Wanted to ask you about Mike Vrabel and I guess other players. Do you ever look at a player and think that guy might make a great coach someday? And did you think that about Mike Vrabel?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think Mike was. I think everybody that coached Mike or was around Mike could see, Mike being a coach. He had a real, very smart player, and not just at his position, but also overall situationally. Of course, played tight end. Short yardage situations, played in a kicking game. But he always had a real, natural thirst for knowledge about situation football and schemes and things like that. And, I think you could see it with Mike. And, It didn't take him long to, finish playing, go to Ohio State, and then Houston, and then Tennessee. So, I mean, I think he's got a great advantage with the playing experience that he has, plus his overall football knowledge. He can put it all together, and I'm sure he does a great job at Tennessee. I'm sure he's a great coach.
Probably not every guy that can get away with asking you to weigh yourself.
Mike and Matt Light, those two guys.
Could say anything.
They slung it back a few times. Let's put it that way. And whether it's me, Dante, or whoever. So yeah, they were the guys that did that. They kept us on our toes.
And Dante as well. I mean, what an asset he has been for this team, or was for this team.
Oh yeah, unbelievable. What a career he's had. And he's had so much influence on not only the players he's coached, but all the coaches that he's coached with. You can't work with Dante and not professionally learn how to be a better coach. Let's put it that way. His work ethic, his mental toughness, his attention to detail, his unselfishness. He's just he's a great role model again for all of us, offense coaches, defensive coaches, head coaches, everybody. He does everything right, and did it that way for a long time. And I'm very fortunate to have been able to have him on the staff when I got here and to retain him, and he did a great job for me.
I know you said last night that you don't talk about your contract, but are you happy to finally have some job security at this point?
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Did you work in a little extra vacation time or anything? New office, maybe, or something like that? All right, coach's verdict. Oh, Courtney, go ahead. Do you want to go?
I was just going to say, is there anybody on your current team that you think have those qualities to be a head coach one day? Are there guys you look at on this roster that you say they'd be a hell of a coach?
Oh, I'm sure there's plenty of them, yeah. And we've had a lot, so Bill Yates, Troy Brown, Adrian Clem, and there's guys right there that are on our staff. So, yeah, there are a lot of guys that coach. We had a lot of players who
he got to win this week.
A lot of players who have gone into coaching. Many of them have been up here. AD and LG were up here in training camp, or spring rather, OTAs. Working with us and doing some coaching. So yeah, we a lot of guys that do that.
What about Edelman? You think Edelman would make a good coach?
Sure, he would.
Yeah. What do you think of the job he's doing on television?
Yeah, I'm worried. I'm just trying to do a good job myself. I'm worried about everybody else's job.
All right.
Vrabel was good, though. I always wanted to ask you this, Bill, and I don't know if, now I'm at the point I could probably do it now. He got those tight end reps. Was there at any point in time, did you ever think 3rd and long, maybe we throw a Wiggy at the D-line, see if we can get him some sacks?
I can't remember ever thinking about that.
No?
No.
All right, well, Vrabel was able to do it. I just feel like, 2 kids that are playing D-line, I feel like I gave him a little bit of knowledge. So,
I'm sure, yeah. I'm not sure. I think you did. I'm not saying that. I'm just...
Never anything?
Look, it was just thrown to Vrabel. As I said the other night, we never really thought about running behind him. And it was always surprising to me that they didn't cover him better than they did. I think we ran behind him like twice in his whole career, and those were probably when, it didn't matter, just to show a tendency that we would do it. But
all right.
All right, time for the coach's verdict, presented every week by Catches Law Group, New England's injury pros at catcheslaw.com. Catches is proud to be the official law firm of the New England Patriots.
So on that induction on Saturday night, it was really great to see you and the crew in a different light. And everybody to a man that came up, whether it was Vrabel or Romeo Crennel or yourself or Dante, talked about the culture and accountability, that what really defined those championship teams was they were accountable on the team to themselves, not more so than to anybody else. How do you recreate that and reinstill that now with a new crop of Patriots? You really had Vrabel to Brady and then Brady to Slater. Slater's here, obviously, but as a special teamer, maybe a little bit more difficult. How do you recreate and instill that culture that you'd had here for 2 decades?
yeah, well, I would say it was 2 decades that there were, ebbs and flows. But I thought Mike put it well, really, when he said, what we had. And I think there was a couple of years that he was talking about, what we had was really special, and Mike said, I'm trying to recreate that every day as a head coach at Tennessee, and I'd say the same thing, trying to do it every day. That was a very, very special group, very special feeling that they had, and you're always trying to create something like that.
I love being here and watching you coach. I'm trying to make plans in advance. If I bought tickets for 2025, would you still be here?
Yeah, again, Greg, I'm focused on Miami.
All right, I like when you're focused on Miami. That's a good thing. All right, Bill Belichick, thank you very much. Great to see you. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you guys.
All
yeah,
right,
have a good week.
Congrats. Great job. We will.